Hey Cancer, welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. Ruth here with your January 2022 reading, your first one of the new year. We are going to do, as we always do, Sun, Moon, Stars. So we'll look at your external experiences, what you're going to be encountering in the month of January. We'll then look at what's causing or creating those things, what's beneath the surface, and then what's giving rise to those things, and then finally we'll look at the outcomes for you as well, so as we enter into February 2022. Now I've taken to say that these readings, when we read tarot, we don't read the future. It's as the weather is outside today. So the weather is today because of what the weather was yesterday, and the weather of tomorrow will be because of what the weather was today. And that's just like you and our experiences and how the things that arise in our lives, it's because of where we've been. So really what we're doing when we read tarot is we're reading the nature of now, and that gives us an indication of what you're going to be encountering potentially, what you've been going through, what lessons your recent experiences are trying to teach you beyond self-love, obviously, because that's all life is trying to teach you. Love yourself, listen to yourself, hear yourself, live your reality, tell your truth, etc. So let's get started. So well, Cancer, we start with the Star card, and that's the base of the reading. So it gives us an indication that it's going to be a healing time for you, a transformative time for you potentially in the month of January, one where you are really experiencing your higher self, or hearing your higher self, or listening to your higher self. There's a space, there's a quiet that has descended or ascended within you, Cancer. Wow, this is the first time Tiny's got off the bed today. That means you should listen. There's a quiet ascending within you, Cancer, of very real centeredness, an equilibrium, an equanimity, a peace. Hello, Tiny. Tiny wants to be involved. Good boy, baby doggy. There's a peace. Say hello. Here he is. Right, I can't show you. There's a peace within you. There's an understanding that you've come to, that you've reached about yourself, about your experiences. I'm interested to see what that could be related to, but you know your life. Okay, let's look at what's the external experiences are going to be for you. You've got the King of Swords, mental clarity, conscious clarity, clarity of consciousness. You've got your the Ace of Cups, a new emotional beginning. Wow, High Priestess and the Chariot. Boom, Cancer, boom. I mean, literally, what is... I just have to just pause 1 second, please, okay? Just while I just take this in. Cancer, I feel the need to tell you that this is going to be an extremely powerful year for you. One where you are free of the shackles of whatever used to hold you back. You have cut through the fog, the confusion. You have cut through the insecurities and the anxiety, and you are ready to stand in this world and let the world see you for who you are. And it has been very difficult. the things that you've encountered, the thoughts that you have had, the terror and the trauma that you have felt at times, the pain, emotional pain that you have felt at times. And we're talking the last 3 years. That struggle has been so real, Cancer. And yet the healing has come through for you. The wisdom has come through for you. And when I'm talking healing in this instance with these cards, I'm talking about a transformation in your perception of your experiences. You looked that anxiety, that pain, that fear in its face, just like you do on the Strength card. You looked it in its face and you said, I'm not going to turn away from you again. Let me look at this. Let me engage with how I'm feeling, because it hurts, but I'm going to do it. I'm not going to turn away. That's what you've done. That's what you've been doing. That's what you've been learning to do. And some of you may be weakened now. In this moment, listening to this, you may feel the strain, the physical exertion of the path that you have been walking. But let me tell you this, Cancer. You are now ready to stand in this world and to let the world see you. You would stand like this in the world and let the world see you. That is how certain of who you are you have become. So we start with the King of, sorry, Tiny, you sit there, Tiny. Tiny wants to sit on that water bottle. There you go. So you've got the King of Swords. We know that sword energy is, I've already told you what this reading's about, basically. I could turn it off, but that's what the reading's about. But anyway, well done. I could clap, I could applaud you, to be fair. I wasn't keeping all the time in it. But we've got the King of Swords. Sword energy is about our consciousness, our mental clarity, our focus, abilities to focus, think, etc. This is truth. This is thinking, not telling yourself lies in your mind anymore, not denying that the pain that was or the struggle that was, honest with yourself in your mind, clear with your words, honest with those around you. That is what we see here. This is you acting on everything that you've learned, acting on everything that you now know, on everything that you now understand. And that's a new emotional beginning for you. It's been hard. I mean, I listen, I know, Cancer, I can feel exactly how hard it's been. And, you know, I know what I've walked a similar path. You know, that's the path of transformation. That's how we learn. That's how we become. That's how we change. That's how we become strong. That's how we learn to love who we are, by walking the path that you have been walking for the last 3 years. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But look at what you now are walking into. So not only thinking with clarity, speaking with clarity and truth and honesty and integrity, but this new emotional beginning. You hopefully this reading is perfect for you, Cancer, because you need to hear now that the struggle was real, but the struggle is over. And you can expect to feel new, to feel different, to feel happy, to feel lighter, to feel less in pain, to feel less, you know, oppressed by what you have, some of the things you have been dealing with over the last three years, definitely this year. This is really saying you can trust the new feelings. You can trust it. And again, further supported by these energies, very kind of high spiritual energy with the High Priestess here. You know, I this was one of the cards out in the first reading I did today with Aries, and I said, you know, it's the time of Persephone, you know, the daughter of Hades, and she had to live in the underworld, and because she ate some of the pomegranate, you know, her mother's the Empress, and in these cards, and she sits and she's mute and she's hidden and she's quiet, but she affects everything that's going on the surface. So if you think about winter, that's when everything dies. So everything in this myth, obviously, she's below ground, and so because she's below ground, everything dies on the surface. Everything goes cold. The days get short. The ground gets hard. Nothing will grow. See what happens. See the effect of that wisdom being beneath the ground. Even though it's beneath the ground, it affects everything on the surface. It affects our whole world, and you are privy to that understanding, that everything that goes on, whether it's manifest, whether someone said it, whether it's beneath the surface, whether it's a seeming figment of my imagination, everything impacts on my world, on what I'm able to manifest and what I can grow. So this is your instinct, your intuition, your feelings, that silent, wise part of you that you started to hear and to listen to. And not only have you started to hear it and to listen to it, because it's also represented in a sense on here, Cancer on your energy and your card, that is actually affecting your actions, what you're doing, how you're acting in the world. So your intuition, your divine feminine, and your divine soul, what's beneath the surface, your memories, your desires, your instinct, your feelings, as well as everything that you see, everything that you know, everything that's manifest. Both those things are what power you forward and what move you forward, and what have been powering you forward, because you have been listening to your intuition. You've been, people forget what you think intuition means. Intuition is the silent part of you, the part of you that you don't necessarily have to speak to or speak about, but it's as much a part of you as as your physical body. When you quiet the mind, you know that that's you, and that you sometimes need to quiet the mind. You've been listening. It's been hard, I know, but look at the beginning of the year that you have. Let's look at what's going on beneath the surface. So yeah, I mean, we're changing, moving, shifting, doing. Yes, we've got the energy of temperance here, the energy of equanimity. I said that at the start. Equanimity is the quality of level-headedness, level-mindedness, and this is the reason why we meditate, for equanimity, for even-mindedness, for quietness, to hear both sides of ourselves, to recognize that there isn't just my body. I don't just have to feed my body so I feel full, physically full, but it helps me to feel satisfied in other ways. Eating satisfies you in a different way than just making your stomach feel full, for example. We listen to both the subtle aspects of ourselves and our physical aspects of ourselves. And this energy of temperance is really the thing that's been helping and guiding you throughout the challenges that you've been facing, or that you have been confronting over the past however many months and years for you. Beneath the surface, driving this new solidity, this new security, this new truth, this new movement in your life, driving that is these energies of Eight of Pentacles. First of all, now, Eight of Pentacles is what manifests, and this is really what you've discovered about yourself. This is about self-discovery, and this is working to discover who you are. And it's as if you have been working to discover who you are. You've been actively working on that, in however you've done that as an individual. It could be in writing, or in journaling, or in meditating, or in doing yoga or exercise, or changing your job, or leaving your relationship, or getting into a relationship, or having children, whatever it is for you as an individual. And even if it didn't look like it at the time, because maybe you were seeing a doctor, maybe you had, you were having some counselling, and you thought at the time, bloody hell, that's hard work, it's hard work. But that hard work is actually self-discovery. And that's what this is. You've been driven by the energy, Cancer, of self-discovery, of actually understanding who you, what drives, what creates your reality, what creates your actions, what creates your responses. That drive to understand that, and the work you have put in, or are putting in, or will be putting in to that, is what provide you with this solid, straight, confidence, not the right word, it's a quiet confidence. It doesn't even matter about other people. It doesn't matter about what they think. It doesn't matter if someone else is going to look at you and say, oh, aren't you confident, aren't you beautiful, aren't you that is so not in your, it's just not in your mind. You don't care about stuff like that. What you actually recognize is, what you're recognizing is who you are, what you can do, what you can stop yourself from doing. And that's what's giving you the strength. You recognize if you listen to that, if you're truthful, if you engage, then you actually affect the situations and circumstances and experiences that you encounter in your life. And because of the pain, the stress, for example, the anxiety of that, the long road that you've been on, maybe potentially, we can be suspicious of that. But it's interesting, in a sense, what it's saying is, even your suspicion of your strength helps you to change that perception of your strength, or of your ability to do or change, etc. So what you'll notice is, what you're doing is you have your life, you live your life, you're having experiences. This is one's but here the cup. So say, for example, you know, you get offered a new job, or you meet a new person, or you become pregnant, or the person that you're with, you know, becomes pregnant or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, and you're so happy, and then you're also, oh my god, but like, can I do this? Like, this is you going, can I do this? Can I do this? But with it being here beneath the surface, what it's showing is that even the arisings of those type of questions or those type of doubts, what you're actually doing to them is you're listening to them and you're engaging with them. You're not ignoring them. You're being meditative on them. So you're going, oh my god, like, I'm really excited about offered this new job, or I've met this new man, or I've met this new woman, I'm pregnant or whatever, I've got this I've won the lottery, right? I'm really excited about it. But you're also like, oh my god, but am I able to do it? Like, am I going to just waste all the money, or am I going to be good at this job? Are they going to love me forever? Whatever. But with it being in this position, what you're actually doing is you're hearing those questions and those doubts, and you're saying to yourself, yes, I can do this. I feel it. I know that, but I can move forward. I am ready. I am able. So you're paying attention fully to yourself, to the full nature of your experiences. You're not just having, you know, kind of, you're not blinkered. You're not like the Eight of Swords with a blindfold on. You're actually paying attention. You're actually engaging, and it's healing. Even the doubts are healing. Even the things that you need to, the perception, the perspective, your perception or perspective of something that needs to change, that is healing. Because before, you didn't even see how the negative self-talk affects you. You didn't even hear the negative self-talk before. Now you hear it, and not only do you hear it, you engage with it. That's the process of meditation. Meditation means to reflect, to consider, to think over. That's what you do when you have these doubts or whatever, the thing that needs to change. You don't trust yourself, whatever. You're reflecting on it. You're considering it. You're thinking over. And that is what brings about balance. That's what brings about healing. That's what brings about temperance and transformation. What brings about these actual changes in your life is attention. Is paying attention to the anxiety, not ignoring it. Well, I mean, I'm getting a bit philosophical here, because that's the philosophy of Sutra versus Tantra. So the philosophy of Sutra is ignore at all costs. Do not engage with this. Tantra, which is my life, which is how I live, which is what Key Minds, my new mindfulness channel, you'll be able to subscribe very soon. Keep an eye out for little Easter eggs coming out. But Tantra is ground path result. It's unbroken chain. It's the essential nature of everything. The essential nature of all, even the stress, even anxiety. And by engaging and being meditative on our experiences, i.e. reflecting, considering, thinking over, reflecting on how it's affected me, how did I respond to that? What did I do? What did I say? What did I do that before? Whatever, however you reflect on it. It's that actually brings about the change and transformation, because you're giving light to the things that were hidden. So personally, I mean, listen, there will be Sutra on my channel, but you know, my philosophy is Tantra all the way, baby, because I want you to experience it all. As I always say, people ask me, what is Tantra? I say, listen, the eyes don't just see, the whole body sees. And the lungs don't just breathe, the whole body breathes. And the heart doesn't just beat, the whole body beats. That's Tantra. Always. There's no separation between you, your experiences, and everything else. And to actually physically be able to embody that is what temperance is. And that's what it's called indestructible reality. I'm going off piece, but anyway, Key Minds, when it comes out, check it out. I'll keep you posted on here. But anyway, this is what brings about the balance. This is what brings about the healing. This pause. This is literally the card of mindfulness, I always say. Being reflective, being still, being calm, being quiet, and that being the thing that helps to guide you. This card, I always say, in a shorthand, you can live by your rules or somebody else's. You can live your rules or somebody else's. And it's very clear, Cancer, that you're ready to live by your rules. You're ready to live by what you understand to be true, not what you have been told, or not you, we have been told to believe or conditioned to believe, not in a sort of freakish kind of mind control way, just like, you know, I don't know, animals are different from people, or insects are different from rodents, or whatever, I don't know, whatever, but we're all the same. Like trees are different from, you know, plants are different from animals, I don't know, whatever, you know, there's all these different ways of like separating everything, but it's all one. It's all one thing. So which are you going to live by? Your rules, what you understand to be true because of your experiences, because of your reflection on those experiences, or what the world tells you? That's what the Hierophant, that's the ultimate question of the Hierophant. And ultimately that's the questions that you've been asking yourself, and what you've actually realized is you have to listen to all aspects of yourself. You can't just ignore your feelings and just look at the outcomes of things, or what the potential outcome would be. You've got to look at how it's going to feel as well, or how you feel about it, or how you're reacting to it, and how you're responding to it, and that's what's going to propel you forward and move you forward. You're doing it. You've been in that process and ongoing. I feel like it's been hard and difficult for you, and challenging, and I can feel that energy, but you are in a new situation now, and you have walked every single step of that journey, and so you actually understand that the confusion is necessary and it's strengthening. You actually understand the essential nature of everything that you've been experiencing. Outcomes. You've got this energy of confusion, and it seems to be about you wanting to move forward. You're now in a situation, or you know, this is moving into February now, to be fair, but you're in a situation now where you are being pulled quite clearly in two different directions. You're being pulled quite clearly in two different directions, and that's obviously what's creating the confusion. So you've got your passion and how you feel. Now remember, Cancer, you can't actually change your instinct. You can't actually, well, eventually you can change it. You can't actually change how you feel. Well, eventually you can change it. But the first thing you must do is acknowledge it. And I feel like you've learned that lesson. You've learned the lesson of acknowledging how you feel and responding to how you feel. Even if, in a sense, because we have this confusion, if you will, here. As I said, being torn in different directions. But ultimately, this is asking you to engage with the confusion, to engage with the physical manifestations of confusion, so how it physically feels to experience this confusion. How does it affect your sleep? Does it affect your appetite? Does it affect your agitation, your ability to sit still, for example? Or do you feel at high energy? Respond to that, engage with that, because it's that that's actually going to help you to move forward, to know what steps you want to now take and what direction you now want to go in. You have finally here the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is literally this is the cup of all your emotions, if you will, or your feelings. And you think of these two things as this, okay? Think of your cup's energy as your emotions, and your I can't remember what I was going to say. So it's gone out, it's just left my head. I suppose like your impulses, like, yeah, your impulses. So your emotions and your impulses, or your emotions and your response to your emotions, the impact of those emotions, if you will. You know, what does that actually create for you? I mean, ultimately, you're engaging fully with them. You're looking at the cup of your emotions. You're looking at the aggregate, if you will, the pile, the aggregate consciousness created. You know, the thoughts, the ideas, the reactions that arise because of whatever you're experiencing and whatever you are encountering. But as I said, you've already learned the lesson, and you've been learning the lesson. And I feel like for you, Cancer, this, as I said, this strong, this solid, clear, truthful nature of this time that you're encountering, this healing time that you're encountering, is because you have been doing the work, paying attention, giving yourself time to engage with your experiences and your feelings and your emotions. You've been giving yourself that time. And even if, as I said, there's confusion, the confusion in itself is healing. You recognize that. You recognize that the confusion is necessary, and you recognize the impacts of the confusion, the physical impacts of the confusion, the emotional impacts of the confusion, and you don't turn away from it. You continue to look at it, and then that then opens up the next part of your path. So like I said right at some point in the reading, near the beginning, the Sutra and the Tantra, we're no longer avoiding, as the Sutra path would ask us to do. We are confronting, as a Tantra path would ask us to do, the ground, what arises, the path, what we learn, and the result is what is now manifest because of that learning, because of that engagement with the confusion, with the path. So you're continuing your expansion in the month of 2022, in the year of 2022. And when I say continuing that expansion, I mean you're learning more about the fullness and the truth of your own nature. Okay, my fabulous Cancers, I hope you've enjoyed that reading. It's been lovely to read for you. We had a little bit of a break in the middle, well, right at the end, but we made it at the end. Thank you so much for being here, Cancer. I hope you've enjoyed that reading. Your next reading will be in January for February 2022. Okay, and if you're not subscribed already, please do. And as I said, keep an eye out for the little Easter eggs for Key Minds, which is my new mindfulness brand. It's going to be launching very soon, and you're going to get little snippets for over the next 3 months before March, when we launch fully. Okay, my darlings, have a wonderful Christmas, season's greetings, enjoy the festive season, and I'll see you all again in January for your brand new readings. Take care, my darlings. Bye.